I did not know the man who started it, Father Stadtmiller. I never met him. So he had already moved to another location down south of Ohio, southern Ohio. And I had met Mike and Patty, and they asked me to come down, bring the guitar, you know, play a little music, and we did. And then these were, you know, we were all like-minded people, very different in other ways, but very like-minded about religion specifically, because we began as a religious organization, really. And then we were just all very family-oriented. So this was a place where everybody brought their kids. You didn't come without your kids. Everybody brought their children. And we met together, we'd have Mass, and eventually we got Father Mario, who was from St. Mark's, and he joined us. And so we always had our own priest, which was very nice. It was just a great place to be with people who were all like-minded, but more, our goals were similar. We were all trying to be the best people we could be. And that's just the truth. Everybody was trying to be really good and kind and loving to one another. And when you get that many people together who have the same goal like that, it's pretty magical. We had some wonderful magical moments, and we had some wonderful masses that were truly magical. I mean, they were the way Mass was intended to be, and there was nothing fancy. There was no fancy chalice, and somebody baked the bread. And it was a very simple, earthy kind of Mass, very dignified, but warm. And that was the whole nature of Koinia, was to be loving. And that's what it was.
Simple farmhouse.
An old log farmhouse, originally log, added on to. And when we went out of business, somebody took the house, took it apart and saved the log cabin and moved it somewhere. I don't remember where, but they did save the log house. And I believe the other building is still standing, but there was nothing fancy, to say the least. Yeah. But it was a lovely place to gather. I mean, there was lots of outdoors. You know, we did a lot of things outside.
And I was not a founding member. I was still in high school.
He was such a kid.
You spent time out there.
But it's Mike.
Yeah.
But it's Mike. He said, "Come on out. We got this." Yeah. So it's Mike that invited me out, and wow, what a great place to play. People loved to sing. This whole
group. It was a real singing.
You'd start a song, and boom, there they were.
And fun people.
And fun.
We had a lot of fun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So always take your instrument. Yeah. Count on singing.
Well, they played volleyball and just anything. And the kids would go, my girls remember being in the creek. Do you remember the creek? My girls loved the creek. So if I was ready to go home and couldn't find my girls, I knew they were in the creek. They loved that.
I wasn't part of Koinia. I had moved on to DC, but I think those little evening get-togethers, hootenannies we had eventually formed into that. It was a lot of the same people. Yeah. And we had, meanwhile the church was changing, becoming real progressive. And that was part of it, that how do we develop community, how do we care about each other?
And that was a big part of it.
That was a big part.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, so, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was, like I said, it was people striving to live a decent life, be decent people. That's who we were. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's fair to say?
It was an exciting period.
Oh,
I remember.
Fun. Well, it was exciting to be a part of the church. Yeah. We used to have an auction every year to raise money. We didn't have a lot of money. Everybody paid dues. Everybody took turns cleaning the place and mowing the lawn. And it just worked out that way. We didn't have anybody doing that stuff. We did it ourselves. We were young. It was fun. It was fun. I think the kids were the most important part, because I really think they had a healthy upbringing down there. It's on the back of that album cover. There's Lloyd.
Creek. There's Lloyd.
And here, most of these people down here are Koinia or the people around Koinia that frequently came. There's a nun there, and a couple of priests, and it's all people who were, it was a good time. And Mike had me, the album, he wanted to do an album. I thought, oh, this this will never fly. And then he sang the first words, "We are born to this, to love one another." That did it for me right there. That was from the song Pilgrim. I said, okay, I think we should record that. I hadn't heard it. But when he said those words, you know, that's just, he was so good at observing life and feelings. The song that he put together that his sister had written, do you remember that one? His sister had written the words, she was dying of cancer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she had written the words, and he put them to music.
Yes.
Heavenly Father, after being overcome with kindness, concern, and love. That was just a lovely piece he wrote. But Pilgrim's Joy was a fun thing to do, I think.
Where'd you record?
We recorded in Athens, didn't we? The first one. Was that in Athens?
Yes, I joined in. Lloyd was working with you.
Oh yes. Yeah. Here's the funny story.
So that was in process, and then I came
about Nick. You see Lloyd Williams, there's the guy with the banjo who's long moved away. But this is the first time I met Nick. And Mike said, we were going to practice at Lloyd's house out on a farm. And he said, and I got a kid who's coming in, he's going to play with us. And I said, well, who is it? And he said, Nick Weiland. And he's in high school. The high school kid. We're going to have a high school kid playing with us? Yeah, okay. And that was Nick.
Look.
That was Nick.
Yeah.
And
the look.
And after.
So how did you get in? How'd you get in?
Mike had heard him.
Yeah, Mike. He liked my playing. I loved his singing, you know. And I remember going into, I don't remember the moment I met him, but I remember being invited to his house on Chestnut Street to play. Yeah, and we really hit it off right there. So I played a lot of the guitar, so I think I was brought in for that. And I could sing, but it was the guitar that.
But it was the
guitar at that point that he.
You know, I'm just sitting here remembering. My brother became a priest back in the heyday. Steve, and he had his mass at St. Mary's in Lancaster, and you played bass, and Mike sang. And that might have been one of the...
What year was that? Can you put it on?
Think about what
it might have been 69, 70. It was early. You played, had a little girl who played flute, but I have a picture. No,
I didn't play flute.
No, but you were still in high school, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was.
And you played upright bass, so.
I played
He was very good, wasn't he?
Or guitar. Maybe you played guitar.
I played guitar.
You played guitar. And then there was another girl that you knew that I think played flute. I went up and played a little bit, but that might have been one of the first times we met Mike. And the memories are coming back.
Yeah,
please don't.
You need to be impressed by the fact that most of the songs are in tune. Perfect. The voices are in tune. Now you have auto-tune, which is a lovely tool for people. But you're not getting
it's not great.
The real picture. You know, you want live recording or studio recording without the autotune, but they all use autotune now, which is fine. But I'm just saying that when you hear this, we're not, we're singing in tune, which is a huge accomplishment.
There was a lot of good first takes.
And then I got to go do double or triple. I got to do harmonies on a couple of them. Myself singing and then do harmonies above it, 2 harmonies above it. The Gifts is one of those on one of those albums. So I get to sing 3 parts, so that was fun. Because I like to do that whenever I get a chance. Sounds like my sisters.
In those days, Tim, it'd be like 2-track recording. So they would record everybody, bounce that down to 1 track, and then start adding. Just keep bouncing that the added track down.